guys, my name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. Okay, so in this video, we are actually going to do quite a bit. So it is December. It is the final month of my collaboration with Rhys, Sara, and Jamie for our Hues of 2022 collab. Our color palette for the month is Christmas, so that works. I was tagged by DisneyMeg to do the Christmas tag 2022, created by Meg's Art Atrium, so I'll be doing that as well. And I was contacted by the fabulous Morgan O'Brien. Yep, that guy right there, if I wanted to participate in a group collab where a bunch of us on, I think, Instagram and YouTube were given a free coloring page out of this book here. Some actually have some exclusive images that were never included in this book, and we can offer it free to all of our viewers. And so, yeah, there's going to be a lot going on in this video, but hopefully it'll be enjoyable for you guys. So, as I mentioned, Morgan O'Brien reached out to me and a bunch of others, and there is several images that we can take. I'll go ahead and link everyone that I can below, and I think it's mostly YouTube, although again there might be Instagram and YouTube, but definitely check out their pages, because we'll each be providing a link to a page that you can download for free. How awesome is that? Thank you so much, Morgan, for the opportunity and just even considering me for this project. And so this is Matchstick Mouse, a Christmas coloring book. I did buy this earlier this year. Yeah, February 2022. And the image that I chose was this one right here. Now, for the holiday season, and this isn't part of the questions, at least I don't think so, but I always bake cookies. I actually start a week or two before Thanksgiving, and I'll be baking all the way up and through the weekend right before Christmas. And then for me, basically, the oven is off limits. It's closed. I don't bake anymore. And there are German cookies that I'll bake. If I can find some images, I'll put some on the screen right here. And so when I saw this page, I thought, okay, this is definitely the page I was going to do. Now, I thought that I would just color the actual PDF with you guys. This is on some cardstock that I had. I thought, yeah, that'd be fun to do. And then I realized I could actually do something a little different, hence why my Hobonichi Weeks is out here on the desk. And so what I've done is I've taken the PDF, and in the printer settings, I wanted to print 2 images per sheet because I wasn't able to scale it down any other way. And so this is an 8.5 by 11. And so I was able to actually cut it down, and I'm going to color this with you guys while I answer the questions. And this will be my deco for my Hobonichi Weeks for this current week. And I'll show you all of that together. Now, if I need to, I'll cut some of the coloring out. Because the image is small, I don't know if it's going to take a long time, but I don't know that it won't. So I don't want you guys sitting here watching me fiddle with all of this. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to put that on there just as a buffer for the desk. This is my original set of Ohuhus. I've mentioned this before. Buying alcohol markers here in Hawaii is rather difficult. A lot of the stock that they have on Amazon says they won't ship here. So I do like to have backups. I have another backup. I actually have quite a bit of alcohol markers, but these are running out. I don't swatch generally, and I don't test before I put color to page. So we might have colors that are running out while we're putting it on here, and we're just going to deal. So I'm going to put this off to the side. I also do have some fine Sharpies. Oh, I didn't know that was in there. And that might help with some of the detail work. And worry, because I don't want an alcohol marker on my desk. So let's put this down here. And when I do my completed pages video, probably the end of the month, the beginning of January for December, I'll need to remember to include this because I don't know that I'm actually going to color this image in the book, because I do prefer to keep my colored images in books. That's why I don't purchase a lot of PDFs, just because then it's in one place I can always find. All right, so let me pick some colors. And since we have this, we can test. And there are 10 questions on the tag that I'll be answering. And then a bonus question. I'll grab some greens, some reds. Because I've had this set for the longest, probably mid-2021, I do know what some of the colors look like, or have a reasonable expectation of what the colors look like. So lots of greens and red. Let's start with the background. Okay, so we're going to have pink walls because why not? So again, tagged by DisneyMeg. This is Meg's Art Atrium tag that she created. I don't know that I'll be tagging some people. I'll think about it while I'm answering the questions. And question number 1 is favorite Christmas or winter coloring book. And to be honest, I do like the Morgan and Brian work, but I don't actually have a lot of specific Christmas or even seasonal coloring book, with the exception of Halloween or witchy vibe type things, because I just love coloring that year round. I don't generally color a lot of seasonal things, again, with the exception of either witchy or Halloween. So even for this month, you might see a lot of my completed pages in traditional Christmas colors, but I don't know that I'll actually have a lot of Christmas themed pages. This one and another one that I'm doing as a buddy color with Tammy are the only two that I can think of offhand. And that's actually how I prefer. However, I do really enjoy my Eerie coloring books because you can find some seasonal things in there, and not just Christmas, but just seasons in general. And some of the other Japanese coloring books I have, the one with the little sketchbook mouse, the fantasy season one. Yeah, I can always find seasonal things, and that's why I'm not too fussed that I don't have anything specific Christmas, because I can color anything at any time, but I am very rarely drawn towards wintry or Christmas imagery. And that could be because I live in Hawaii and that's just not my reality, right? So one day our weather can be really blustery like it has been and in the 70s. And then the next day it could be in the 90s, humid, and you sweat as soon as you get out of the shower. So yeah, the whole cozy vibe. I mean, luckily we have AC, so, you know, my whole baking thing that I mentioned earlier is not brutal. But in some of the other houses we lived in when I was younger, AC was not a thing and it was horrible. Yeah, so that's question number 1. Question number 2, traditional or non-traditional Christmas color palette. To be honest, I lean towards traditional, and that's just because it's the easiest for me to do. If I'm doing non-traditional, then it probably is going to be more of a wintry page than a Christmas page. Now, when I was younger and I had my own apartment, I actually had a non-traditional Christmas tree. It was done in pinks and purples and like this teal blue because I had bought this set. And so all of my decorations were based off of that. And it was pretty, but I actually do prefer, even just looking at Christmas decorations, more of the traditional stuff because that's the stuff that I grew up with. And from a color palette, like I said, you'll see images that I've completed with the Christmas traditional palette, even though the subject matter may not actually be Christmas. All right, that was question number 2. Question number 3, favorite Christmas tradition. When I was younger, like a lot younger, like a kid younger, we had quite a few traditions that we no longer do. One of the traditions we did is, we're half German, and so we always opened our gifts on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas Day, because that's how my mother did it. But before we could open gifts, we had to sing Christmas carols. And when I was a kid, I loved that because I would just belt them out like I was Mariah Carey. And then later, because I think for me personally, we did that until I was in my late teens. And that was more so because there's a 10-year difference between my sister and I. And she was still a kid when I stopped participating. Yeah, because when I was a teenager, I was at the point where I'm not doing any of this stupid stuff. And I don't care what kind of presents you got me. I was very much Scrooge McDuck. Not gonna lie. I was that girl. I was difficult. And that's hard to imagine. But I was. And so that was one of the traditions that we no longer do, but it was fun. I do remember it fondly. And then we always eat a dish. Sorry, let me look at the other questions. Yeah, we always eat a dish, and we still do, called Russian eggs. And it's really weird because we're not Russian. And I think it's a hodgepodge dish. But what it is, it's a salad made of essentially bologna. Now, it's difficult to get German sausage here, so we just always default to bologna. That's what we grew up with. For a while in the commissary, they could get German sausage like Gelbwurst and Fleischwurst and things like that, but it's really hard to get these days. And so we just use Oscar Mayer because that's what we know. And it's made of bologna, Swiss cheese, and German pickles, and they have to be specifically German pickles because the taste profile. And you mix that with a German vinaigrette. We get little packets, and mayonnaise, and that's the center of the platter for Christmas Eve. And then surrounding it is just regular American style potato salad, so mayonnaise-y. There's deviled eggs, and there's little rosettes of salmon, smoked salmon. It is bizarre, but if we don't have that on Christmas Eve, I get fussy. Now, it's not my favorite dish. It certainly is not my favorite dish. And we only ever eat that specific rendition on Christmas Eve. But yeah, I'm very much someone that is into traditions. And so Thanksgiving always has to stay the same by way of a taste profile. We always have to have Russian eggs on Christmas Eve. I always have to start baking right before Thanksgiving. And I only make like traditional German cookies. We didn't grow up eating American cookies. So for me, those are actually more special, even though they're a lot easier to make than German cookies. But yeah, that's probably my favorite Christmas tradition. And on Christmas Day for us, because we've already opened up our presents, both of my parents grew up very poor. And so my dad has no Christmas traditions whatsoever. So everything's relied upon my mom. So Christmas Day was really just a day for cooking. Sometimes we would redo a Thanksgiving meal with turkey and ham and all that. This year, I think we're having steak. So it's just really relax and really chill. But yeah, those are favorite Christmas traditions for me. I already answered this, but question number 4 is open presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. When we were younger, well, and probably through my 40s, we would do St. Nick's Day, which I believe is the 5th of December. And what would happen is St. Nick would come and visit. And if you were good, he would fill your stocking with candy and treats to include tangerines and unshelled walnuts. And that's because that's what Santa brought my mother when she was a kid. But if you were bad, you would get a stocking full of coal. Now, fortunately, Santa is not very diligent, and so I always got treats. I never got a stocking full of coal. Well, there were definitely Christmases and St. Nick's Day that I should have. I can say that now where I'm not jeopardizing anything. But yeah, I would have denied while I was a kid. And we do put our, well, when we were younger, we would put our presents underneath the Christmas tree. We don't do that for a couple of reasons. One, there's only old people living in this house now. So for what? Oh, that's a lot of bending unnecessarily. And then we do have cats in the house. And so that'll just drive them absolutely crazy. Okay, so that was question number 4. Question number 5, favorite Christmas memory. I don't know. Christmas to me has always been either really chill or full of drama. So I can't think of anything specific drama-y that I could share with you guys. And yeah, it's a difficult question to answer. So let's just say I don't have one. If I think of something while I'm answering the rest of them, then I'll come back to it. Favorite Christmas movie. So when I was a kid, we always had to watch. Now, this is before 300 billion channels and TV that was 24 hours a day. I know. I'm old. But I always had to watch It's a Wonderful Life. It's a very classic movie. It's very uplifting, but it's also very sad. But because it played on just regular TV with commercials, I don't know about you, but I'm no longer about that life. But at that time, there was no option and no awareness that there could be other options. We always had to watch it. And then when my sister was in her tweens, so like 9, 10, 11, I think Home Alone came out. And at that time, family would come over. And my dad and my uncle loved watching Home Alone. I think it was the slapstick aspect of the movie. And because they played it on cable, you always knew we were going to be having Christmas dinner together, and then we're going to be watching Home Alone because that's just how it went. I did like those, I think it's claymation, I'm not sure, the Frosty and the Abominable Snowman. I did like those cartoons, and if they're on and I'm out in the living room at the time, then I'll watch. But I actually don't watch a lot of programs like that anymore, just because I don't have a cable box anymore. I'm pretty sure I could watch it on YouTube, but I've no desire to do that. But now, because even by way of watching movies, I don't do a lot of seasonal watching. I had started it yesterday, but HBO Max is kind of crap, just because it always buffers. I think that's the word. But the first Harry Potter to me is probably one of my favorite Christmas movies, even though it's not a Christmas movie. But when they're dealing with Christmas in the movie, I think it's just so magical. I love it. And so that's probably my favorite Christmas movie right now. I do not do Hallmark movies. I hate them. And I think it's because I really can't identify with the characters, right? They're always usually young and beautiful. There's a little bit of drama, instant love. They're usually white. Sorry, but they usually are. And you know it's going to be lots of misunderstandings, lots of missed chances to not have misunderstandings, and just, you know, if I were a character in that, I'd be the frazzled soccer mom with the 3 kids who say, just, you know, do all the guys, or I'd be the plucky fat side chick, or not side chick, but sidekick, who would be snarky and sassy, and in lieu of the, you know, obligatory flaming gay boy, which they have in these things. And yeah, I've never grabbed. I know people love Hallmark movies, especially the Christmas ones, but yeah, I have never been a fan. So yeah, there's that. Number 7, candy canes, yummy or no thank you. I actually really love peppermint. And I'll eat a candy cane just like that. My brother enjoys swirling a stick of candy cane into his hot chocolate. I actually don't like that. Or like a peppermint mocha from Starbucks. Not a real big fan of that either. But I do enjoy me some candy canes. And if I'm feeling a little plucky, I'll actually get the candy canes that are not peppermint. Like, I think you can get one that tastes like fruit punch. And I do like the shape. It's easy to eat. And I do like hard candy as well. So yeah, candy canes are a definite plus for me. In fact, I'll eat peppermint candy throughout the year. So it's not just a Christmas thing for me. You're coming along quite well, I think. All right, that was number 7. Number 8, favorite Christmas song. All right, so I was telling my mom the other day, there are 3 Christmas songs that I have to hear every year, or it does not feel like Christmas to me. So the first one, probably no surprise, is Mariah Carey's song, All I Want for Christmas. I think that's what it is. And I'm not going to sing, so if you're waiting for that, you're going to be here a minute. The second one I have to hear is Wham's Christmas song. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. I mean, it's tragic. It's not a happy Christmas song, but it's a song from my teenager years. And so I have lots of happy memories about that. That's actually a lie. I don't have lots of happy memories, but it makes me think of being young. And so I guess that's what makes me happy. But there is another one that I actually have yet to hear. And it is from an artist here from Hawaii called Willie K. And his rendition of Oh Holy Night. And part of it is sung in English, and part of it is sung in Hawaiian. And he has a voice, especially in that song, that is just absolutely angelic to me. It is just, it's chicken skin, goosebump moments, if you don't know what that terminology means. And I love it. I actually have it on a playlist. So if I don't hear it, because I don't actually listen to the radio a lot. And that's why I only really listen to the radio these days when I'm in a car with either my dad or my brother. But yeah, those 3 songs are the 3 songs that I have to hear for Christmas. And this year and last year, I have really not been in the even listening to Christmas song kind of mood. I'm not sure what it is, but I have definitely channeled my inner Scrooge McDuck. I don't hate Christmas, and I love seeing Christmas decorations, but I don't decorate. I don't put them up, because that means I also have to take them down. So I'm not going to participate in that life. But yeah, I enjoy the season when other people do it. Okay, where are we? Favorite Christmas song? Number 9, which do you prefer? Nutcrackers or Snowmen? All right, so this is actually a very easy question for me to answer, because because I am half German, we've actually always had Nutcrackers in the house. Now, being German doesn't mean you always have Nutcrackers just all year, at least not in my house. We only have Nutcrackers during the Christmas season. Now, my mother loves Christmas, absolutely loves it. And so if she can, she likes to get her all of the decorations for Christmas, at least inside the house, up by mid-November, because she just loves seeing it. We also keep the Christmas decorations up inside the house and outside as well, although my dad didn't put as much decorations outside this year until the wise men leave. I know there's a day, or there's a name for that, but I can't remember it. So we have a little bit of snowmen, but also because we live in Hawaii, that just doesn't really make sense. I've lived in Hawaii for the last 40 years. We moved here when I was 10. I am 50. And so yeah, Hawaii is pretty much all that my sister remembers, even though she was born in Texas. I do remember wintering in Texas because we were stationed there twice when my dad was still in the military. And I remember that I would always be able to get gloves, mittens, and a new jacket. Now, looking back on that must have been really rough on my folks, because again, we didn't have a lot of money, and having to buy all new winter gear for the 3 kids could not have been easy, but they always managed somehow. I guess it's one of those, my mom was always going to get herself a warm winter coat when there was extra money, but there never seemed to be. But yeah, that kind of went off on a tangent, but definitely Nutcrackers. Although the Nutcracker ballet, I've never been a huge fan of. I love ballet, and when I was younger, I collected a lot of ballerina things, but let me take that back. I don't know that I necessarily love ballet. That's the statement that I need to take back. But I always thought the ballerinas were just so elegant and so graceful, and I've never felt like it was that. And so that's why I loved collecting things, because it just made me think of elegance and grace and things like that. Things that I never felt that I was. Oh, what a weird video. So yeah, I think I answered that. Did I answer that properly? Let's just say we did. All right, just a few more elements to go. And number 10 kind of answered that. I don't ever decorate. I used to when I was young. I used to help out in the house. I used to go out with the office. And now, yeah, I don't do any of that. I don't do anything in the office, and I don't do anything at home. And if something goes up in my room or outside of my door, because again, my mother loves Christmas and she'll do that, if she doesn't take it down, it's just going to stay up till next Christmas. And I think that's actually super efficient, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, I don't decorate at all for anything, just because I cannot be bothered to take it all down. All right. And let's go with the bonus question in just a minute when I can look up. I don't know what kind of liquid that is. Maybe I should have left that as milk. I don't know what that's supposed to be, so we'll leave that as well. And I'm going to add a little bit more color here. I think this is the color we used for the walls. I don't know if this is a snake, although just thinking about size, that actually is probably a worm. But whenever I color that dude, I always color him green. So I will continue that. So let's do a green for this guy. And then let's put some white gel. So there's the one we found in there. So we'll put a little bit there for the windows. We'll do some here. And do a little bit of like squiggling action. I don't know that it necessarily gives it a texture, but I can see that there is a slight difference. And here. And in here. And in here. And I do want to add a little bit of glitter gel pen. And maybe some glaze. So let me grab some of that. I'll be right back. All right, so I grabbed some glitter gel. I've got orange for the carrot. The carrot doesn't pop as much as I wanted to. The color that I chose was a little bit too dark, so let's just make that pop. This is a dual, well, it's a sparkle pop, but it's the same as a dual hybrid metallic. This is their orange. This is the one that's black and red. It looks like it might be nearly done, but we'll just add some of that here. It definitely pulls a little bit more of a darker red than a lighter red, but that's okay. I thought about putting some gold, but I think we're actually good. Although that drink is bothering me. So let's make it grape juice. Pen's almost dead, so. All right, I think that looks good. Let me clear my desk and then we'll put this into the Hobonichi and finish up my weekly setup. All right, before I forget, the bonus question was, show a Christmas theme page you want to color in December. This is the one I mentioned earlier. This is my buddy color with my girl, Tammy. We've been enjoying coloring an eerie page every single month. This is out of the original Romantic Country. And right now I'm thinking if I should either do something in the background by way of kind of putting this, because right now this is sort of floating. I mean, there is the ground here, but is this outdoors? Is this indoors? I don't know. But I think that will just really depend on how much month I still have when I actually get to this page. But this is probably the only other Christmas page that I am doing as of right now, and I am looking forward to completing that. So this is the finished image. Not gonna lie, I actually love how that looks, and it may make me get more PDFs just so I can print them for here. This is my Hobonichi Weeks. This is my everyday carry, so this I always have with me. Let me take out my weeks and I'll be right back. Now, because I am finishing out the year in this one, it is rather chunky, and that's fine. It's still rather small considering I've got an entire year worth of stuff in here, but I've already set up the week on this side, and this is where I track my work tasks. I'm going to just glue this in right over here, just right in the center like that. I'll use some double stick tape. And while I might keep this journal planner for about a year out or so, I don't worry that my products are not specifically archival quality, because this isn't something I'm going to keep for like ever. All right, so that looks good. I do have some green washi on the desk, and so we'll just do tops and bottoms just to make it look a little bit more complete. And then I'll finish setting this up with you guys. So it's kind of a twofer. Actually, it's more than that because we covered a lot of ground. So let me grab a Tombow. Oh no, let me grab a mild liner because I want to bring some green on this side. And it's not the same green, but it doesn't need to be. And if you are new to this, the reason why I set up the week here than how it usually is because this side, that's where I've been doing all of the deco, and there would be ridges. This side is still flat, and so it's easier for me to write. During this here, I do write down all of my completed tasks that I do at work. And then these two boxes actually mean something as well. This final week is going to be, or this week is going to be the final week that I'm working a full work week. Next week I do have a few days off, and then there's a holiday in every other week up and through New Year's. And so what this is Monday 12/12. And this is my preferred setup. Again, if you are new to this part of my channel. But I need this anyway, so it just, like I said, it ticks a lot of buttons for me. That's where I do the completed tasks. This is where I write what I actually have for lunch. When I'm done with this, I can actually show you just real briefly what a week looks like. Because again, some of you might just be here for the coloring stuff and you've never seen any of my Hobonichi stuff. And so that's breakfast, lunch. And what that means is the top is what is being offered in the cafeteria. I look at that on Monday mornings just to kind of map out my week. If there's days that I can just eat on campus, or do I need to bring things in? This week, I'm off the 19th through the 21st. My boss already had taken the 22nd and 23rd, and because our office is so small these days, there's only 3 of us, we can't have more than one person on vacation. So that's fine. So I'll only be working these 2 days. And then this week I'll be working Tuesday through Friday. And then the first week of January, I'll be working Tuesday through Friday because of the way the holiday falls. And that's really pretty. This is December 12th through the 18th, 2022. And since I don't have a quote on the page, I'll put the quote of the week here. And then these are just some notes that I need to remember when I go into the office for next week. I will outline that probably sometime tomorrow morning, but that's essentially my week done, and that's really cute. I'll probably write some notes on here what this was for, the Morgan O'Brien, the free coloring page he's offering. And again, that'll be linked in the description box below. This was for Hues of 2022 collab with Rhys, Jamie, and Sara. Their channels will be linked as well. And then the tag that DisneyMeg tagged me in, that was created by Meg's Art Atrium. If you're watching, I'd love to see your answers from Doodle Robot, Tammy of Tammy Colors 2, and Poet. Now, I'm not sure exactly, because it's going to go up sometime this week, either the 14th or the 17th. So this might be a little late for anyone to actually do this tag, and that's cool. But if, yeah, those 3 people want to do the tag, that's cool. And then this is what a work week looks for me. So I do all of my completed tasks Monday through Friday. I do work on Monday through Friday schedule. I write what was offered in the cafeteria and what I actually had. My deco changes on a week-to-week basis. That's just how I feel. This might be the only Christmas themed spread I do. I might do Christmas through the end of the month. I might actually take advantage of some of the free pages that are on other people's channels, especially the one with the baby Yodas, and do the same thing where I just size it down and then just put it on the side here and maybe finish my year that way. I don't know. I'll see. But that is it for this video. I would love to know what you guys think, and I do think it opens up the realm of possibility with PDF to size them down for your own personal use and then use them in your journal or your planners, because I think that's super cute. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.